Looking into the next 10, 20, 25 years and see where we land up, I think you'll see that clearly digital assets is here to stay. Partner here at KPMG in the Cayman Islands, been focused on digital assets since 2017, and really digital asset funds and funds investing in digital assets as an asset class. So I've been involved in the space since 2017 and now work with some of the largest funds in the space along with the next wave of managers. We also work with some of the leading companies in the industry across an audit, tax, and advisory perspective. We're fortunate enough to work with close to 60% of large VC funds and crypto funds. So that's over $500 million in assets. And then close to 45% of the centralized finance exchanges, custodians, OTCs, brokers in the industry. That's KPMG.
So you have an incredible perspective, like sort of three-dimensional, right? Cayman, international, different parts of the industry. What would you say in the industry right now is real, and what would you say is actually just narrative?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is real is the fact that there's still the institutional demand, and that's still coming in. I think that, when we talk to our clients, they're still looking the fact that there is something tangible behind the industry. And the fact that it isn't just built on night. While I think everyone's focused on price action, there are still some real fundamentals kind of behind the industry and behind the venue. And so that's something which, when I talk to clients, they say, yes, it isn't just, it's volatile, sure, but there's a way that we can actually go ahead and contribute to the industry and push it further. In terms of what's, I think what's hype, maybe it's just a lot of the price action, the volatility. Everyone's focused on that. But I think if you're taking a longer term view, and you're looking into the next 10, 20, 25 years and see where we land up, I think you'll see that clearly digital assets is here to stay.
So this industry has obviously gone from being what you could broadly call the Far West up until maybe about 5 years ago or something like that. You must have experienced it since you've been in the industry for almost a decade. But today it's clearly assimilating, it's integrating with the sort of, the lines are blurring with traditional finance. We're seeing big institutions, we're even seeing governments, we're seeing sovereign entities and so forth. So I wonder, is the industry mainstream right now from your point of view? Because from an investment point of view, I believe only about 5% of the world actually owns any kind of digital assets. So it's kind of a story of two different sides.
Yeah. So I think it depends on almost which perspective you take it from, right? If you're taking it from maybe a retail perspective or individual perspective. My parents still don't know what the digital assets are and porn is, right? So it's something which, it's having that conversation with them, right, and educating them as to what it may be, right? But it's also then if you take the other side of it, the other side of the coin, the institutional angle of it, I do think people see it as an asset class, right? And the panel that I was able to moderate with with Josh amongst others mentioned the fact that in 5 years' time we hope that digital assets isn't an alternative asset class, right, as it is now, right? And so I think looking at it if you look at it from two different angles, I think one can argue yes it is mainstream, and one can argue it's still a bit on the fringes. And so I think it depends on what perspective you're looking from.
What are some of the trends you're witnessing in terms of your client work? What are some of the sort of shifting demands that you're seeing as this industry institutionalizes?
I think at the end of the day, you're looking to see, in the sense that the service providers that you're working with, are they knowledgeable? Are they communicative? Are they adding value to the project and to the entity? And so that's ultimately speaking what we're looking for. And at KPMG, being one of the big four firms, we have that landscape and vision into the entire digital asset market, given our client base, and we're able to provide value to clients and say, yes, listen, broadly speaking, this is where we see industry going, and this is where we see industry directionally moving towards, something to consider. These are best practices. That might be something that Emil wants you to work with. And so that's really what, from that perspective, where you can add value is what we see to the place gone.
And you're a Canadian. You just told me this before this interview. What is the opportunity for Canadians here, short of telling our fellow Canadians to all move to Cayman? Is there kind of a middle path? Is there a way that Canadian companies, startups, scale-ups, et cetera, could benefit from, perhaps leveraging what this beautiful island has to offer while perhaps still remaining Canadian?
Yeah, I certainly think there's different options. I think I'm not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination, so don't want to stray too far out of my realm of expertise. But I certainly think there's a venue forward for Canadians to take advantage of Cayman as a jurisdiction. We have CEC, Cayman Enterprise City, and Tech Cayman here is offering incubators for businesses and entities to form here. And maybe it isn't the whole business that moves here, but maybe it's a few individuals that move here to
foundation.
Or a foundation to Cayman from Canada. So, as you say, I'm Canadian. I moved down here 15 years ago. It's supposed to be 2 years, but loved it so much we stuck around. And so I'm sure you've come across that quite a bit the last couple of days.
Well, this is my first time here, so I'm already quite smitten, I have to be honest. Thank you very much for your time.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Take care.